Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the upgraded UCL Julian Brandt. We're going to go through the card's details, stats, clip and summary, as well as how I think this card played compared to its previous versions and what I think of the card in general. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on the upgrades and who you're going to be grabbing. Without further ado, let's get into the review. So guys, this is a team that I used Julian Brandt in. I played him in that attacking midfield position in that 4-2-3-1, and overall impressions of this card, guys, I think this card is pretty decent. It's not a top tier card, but it's a very usable card, very linkable card as well. Without further ado though, let's just get into the review. Julian Brandt, 6'1", high medium work rates, right footed, 4 moves, and 4-star weak foot. 12 games played, 5 goals scored, and 2 assists. So not a bad return, not a great return either. Decent amount of goals. Should have had more assists as well. My general wasting of chances led to that not being as high as it should be. The work rates and the weak foot and the skill moves are all decent as well, and his height is pretty good as well. It's a nice thing to have in an attacking midfielder, to have someone who's a bit more physically capable against those DMs as well. So the height does definitely play towards that advantage as well. In terms of the chemistry style, guys, I tried a couple on him. I tried the engine, I tried the catalyst, and those were the only two that I tried on him. I do think there are other ways to try out this card as well to make him a little better. But overall, guys, I feel like he struggled in some departments. We'll get onto that though right now. In terms of the key pros, guys, the first thing I do want to mention is that his passing is very good. His short and long pass are both very good. His ball control, dribbling are pretty good as well. His shooting isn't bad. His finishing is a little low. Could be a couple of points higher. Would make a little bit of a difference there as well. Strength is a very good factor as well about this card. The acceleration on this card is really low. That's a big con of this card, guys, is that even with the boost, he only goes to a 92 acceleration. I say only because a lot of people will be putting shadows or something like that against him in the position that he's playing in. So you will be seeing players who are just as quick as him. You would like that to be as high as it possibly can be. There's something else, guys, about this card which I find a little bit of an issue, and it's to do with his dribbling. And it's not that any of the dribbling stats are particularly an issue in themselves. He does feel a little bit clunky in terms of his movement. I think it's because of the size combination, along with the fact that he's high 80s in a lot of these dribbling stats. It just means that he isn't as smooth as you maybe would like him to be. If I was to compare him directly to, for example, Julian Draxler, I think that this card is slightly more clunky than that card. If we get into the traits though, guys, flair trait, long shot taker, playmaker, outside the foot shot, and technical dribbler, all great traits for an attacking midfielder to have. So overall, a very nice set of things to have in this attacking midfielder. And now that we've covered all that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Julian Brandt's clips, and what you guys are going to see here is his general ability to be able to play that 10 slot. Now guys, overall I thought this card, and the first thing we'll get into is his passing. I thought his passing was very good, guys. He's able to play long and short passes, wrap them around the fullbacks like that, play the little 1-2s, do the crossing as well. Overall, guys, I think this card is a really complete passer in how he's able to play, and that allows you maybe to even play him as a wide attacking midfielder as well. The next thing I want to get into, guys, is his dribbling. Now, his dribbling is pretty decent. One thing that I would say, guys, is that although his dribbling stats are all very high, and that makes for a very decent dribbler, you guys can see there, he moves with relative freedom on the ball as well. One thing that I would say, though, guys, is because he's 6'1", and you see how wide his build is as well, what it means is that this card is less able to move as freely as I would like. Although he is a very decent movement player, he's not able to move as freely as I'd want, which means that overall, guys, I think his dribbling is slightly hindered, and that's maybe one of the big factors about this card which you need to consider, is that the body type does really throw off how the dribbling plays with this card. The next thing I want to get into, guys, is that shooting. The shooting's okay, guys. It's pretty reasonable. He does pretty well with the chances that I give him. He did miss some absolute sitters as well, though, guys. But overall, I think that he did reasonably well with the chances I presented to him. He created lots of opportunities as well, and that was really what I liked about this card, was I was able to score relatively easily with this card, or create chances with this card and get goals from that, more to the point, which is something that I love to have in my attacking midfielders. And just the ability to be able to create and score goal scoring opportunities is fundamental for me, because sometimes they even do better than my strikers. The last thing I want to get into, guys, is just his overall linkability. Of course, we will cover this more in the summary too. This card, the reason that the price is slightly higher than cards like, say, for example, Julian Draxler, is because of that linkability and his ability to be able to fit in with multiple players from that Bundesliga or from Dortmund more specifically as well. And that's something that's really nice to have in this card as well, is that you have an option in the Bundesliga that is able to do all of what you require him to be able to do and fit into the teams as well. As we look into the final few clips, guys, you're just going to see some of the goals that he scored, and what you're seeing is a lot of decent finishing. A lot of these are easy chances, I would say. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly difficult in terms of what he's doing, but nevertheless he does still have to stick these chances away. He did miss a few sitters, so I did start to make the chances slightly easier for him, but he still did a very good job of scoring all of these goals, and that was really a plus for me as well, is that he was able to do all of that. So guys, getting at this final Julian Brandt summary, 130k on the PlayStation, 137 on the Xbox, and 199 on the PC. Now guys, the key pros of this card, of course, the dribbling stats are pretty decent on this card. The passing is pretty good on this card. His shooting is okay, guys. I think the finishing, if that was a little higher, he would do a little better in terms of taking those easy chances. Sprint speed is good, but if we go straight onto that, into the cons, I think the acceleration is a big con. And I do feel like his build and size, the way he's built, is a big con of this card as well. Makes him feel a little bit clunky in that regard. Another, just while we're on the pros as well, actually guys, the stamina and the strength, also great for a cam. Allows him to compete against those stronger midfielders that he'll be going up against. In terms of chemistry style, guys, I think you do need to help his dribbling out. I think that his pace needs help as well. So maybe an engine would be the best way to go. I really don't know with this one, guys. I would be happy to hear your suggestions as well and what you guys think. But I think the pace and the dribbling really does need a helping hand. I'm not so sure about the passing, but maybe even just the shooting and dribbling needs help too. Maybe you could go with a finisher as well. That would really do wonders for him in terms of his shooting and his dribbling as well. In terms of similar players, guys, if we just get straight into this, I actually think this Julian Draxler card is very similar. Draxler, for me, a little bit leaner than this card. Thomas Muller, a little bit quicker than this card in terms of how I felt he moved, but very similar as well. So somewhere between those two, you have a Julian Brandt card. In terms of linkability, guys, this is where this card picks his price up from. Perfect links, of course, to Marco Reus, Mats Hummels, Emre Can as well in there, Schultz in there as well. Strong links, of course, to other German players across the Bundesliga, German icons as well as other Dortmund players like Sancho, Kimmich, Neuer, Schweinsteiger in there, Lahm, Matthäus, Haaland is in there too, the player of the month, Sancho as well. So we've got a bunch of linkability in there too. In terms of price comparison, guys, he's sitting currently around the 130k mark. Now for this card, guys, I would say it's actually pretty okay in terms of pricing. The only reason I do not like the way this card is priced is because down below you've got a Julian Draxler card who's sitting in the 80k range right now. Now that card is actually really good, and I think that if you're able to link that card into your team rather than this Brandt card, that's the way I would go with this. But if we were isolating out that Draxler card and just looking at this Brandt card compared to where he sits in amongst those other cards, I think this card is very well priced, very fairly priced as well, and will come down as of course better cards come out. But of course he may still remain competitive if Dortmund manage to advance through the Champions League, which leads me to my final recommendation, guys. This isn't one I'd be recommending you go out and build your team around. However, if you need a filler or a player to slot in somewhere that will allow you to be able to link in all these Bundesliga players or comfortably link them into a hybrid, then this card will be able to do a certain level of job for you. I think if you are wanting that sort of next level attack midfielder, this one isn't the one for you, or even just one who plays to a higher level than this. I think Draxler plays to a higher level than this Brandt card, but nevertheless, this is still a decent card. But overall, guys, I'd be looking elsewhere if you want something that's game-changing. This card, just a very serviceable link in your team. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. Until next time, I will see you all in a bit.